Can Mike Norvell and the Florida State staff get this team together to have some of the success they had last year, where they went undefeated in the regular season in 2023, so that they can contend this year for the ACC and a college football playoff spot? Coming up next, man, the 2024 season preview for the Florida State Seminoles.
The fanatic, where we keep it 100, keep it real. That's the only way we know how to be. Talking that sports talk, you know what I'm saying? Straight out of South Carolina, upstate, 864. Yeah, the FANATTIC, the fanatic, where we keep it OG. We talking sports, so I call what
Welcome to another episode of the Fanatic on the Fanatic Sports Network. I'm your man, Coach I. We're here to talk college football, man. So if you like college football and you want to be a part of the family, man, go ahead and hit the like button and subscribe. Listen, share it to somebody else, another Florida State fan or ACC fan that may want to take a look at the video. We do live streams, we do game previews, we do a breakfast tailgate talking all sports, actually on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 10 a.m. One of our live streams coming up next Saturday is a Saturday night snap count. Normally we do that show every Saturday during the season when we wrap up college football. But we're doing some preseason topics. I got a lot of content creators representing all the conferences, all the P4 conferences to come in and talk college football. So that's next Saturday, July the 6th at 9 p.m. Eastern. Also, listen, man, the season is around the corner. So if you're going to buy any tickets, use promo code Fanatic Sports on SeatGeek and you can get $20 off your first purchase. I mean, you won't be able to get it off of every single purchase, but if you're gonna go to multiple games, why not save money on that, on at least one of those games, man? Let's go ahead and get into it, man. Let's talk about Florida State in the upcoming season, man. Listen, going into 2023, Florida State returned more production than anybody in the country, and it paid off. They went undefeated in the regular season. Of course, we all know what happened to Jordan Travis. He went down. They still won the ACC title, but got left out of the playoffs. So what can they do this year, though? Like, this year is a totally different story as far as returning production. They only returned 58% of their production overall, 56 of that on offense, 60 on defense. And listen, man, they didn't just lose production. They lost like guys, like real guys, man. 10 draft picks, three undrafted free agents, so who probably most definitely gonna make a team and be playing on Sunday. So that's 13 NFL guys you lost, man. I mean, we're talking about, like, on the offense. Let's start with the offense, man. On offense, man, you lost Trey Benson, you lost tight end Jaheim Bell, wide receivers Wilson and Coleman, and of course Jordan Travis. Those kind of things, those are like real playmakers, man. Like, these dudes was elite at what they did. So what can they do this year? Because the only returning wide receiver that have any meaningful snaps really is Ja'Kai Douglas. You saw him use like a Swiss Army knife kind of in the bowl game against Georgia. Was able to, have some production or whatever. Last year he had 14 receptions for 243 yards. I mean, it doesn't wow you, but I mean, he was playing behind a lot of NFL talent. So, but what can he do this year? At running back, you bring back Lawrence Toafili, who's a really good running back. And then you try to replace Trey Benson with some of the transfers, you know what I'm saying? Running back Roydell Williams out of Bama. We'll see what he got. And then wide receivers, Malik Benson from Bama, Jaylen Brown, wide receiver from LSU. Even though those guys may have not had a lot of production, the programs that they're coming from, we definitely know they got some talent. Can they put all this talent together and, have it culminate into another ACC championship appearance, possibly, a playoff berth? The old line should be big in experience, so that should help, especially when you're changing quarterbacks. And speaking of quarterbacks, y'all know, DJU is one of those transfers that came in. Now, what I want to know from Florida State fans is, what were your feelings on DJU coming to Florida State? Is that something that you liked, or you still got questions or something like that? Let me know in the comments what you think about that. Will he retain the job the whole year? Will Brock Glenn, I know he doesn't have a lot of experience. He got thrust into, action last year, kind of unprepared, but, he's had a whole offseason this year to see what he could be like. Will he push DJU for minutes during the season? And can one of these playmakers on the outside step up? Portier had 4 receptions for 84 yards against Georgia. And then you got wide receiver Hakeem Williams or Malik Benson coming from Bama. Like, who's gonna step up? Because last year, Keon Coleman was Mr. like clutch, what I'm saying? Like, in that Clemson game, just when you needed a big catch, he was there, and then Johnny Wilson was there, and again, Jaheim Bell. Those are the 3 great targets for a quarterback to have. Now, on the defensive side of the ball, you lost some big guys, big names too, and guys that were super productive, man. Jared Verse leading the way, man. Ronaldo Green, Akeem Dent, Jerry Jones, Tatum Bethune. Listen, and then of course Greedy Vance Jr. hits the portal, and then like losing 4 guys in that secondary, that'll hurt depth. Florida State has talent in the secondary, but that hurts your depth. And when you're talking about trying to make a run for a conference championship and a possible playoff berth for national championships, you got to have depth. I mean, Florida State knows that more than anybody else with, what happened last year to Jordan Travis. Now you do return Fentrell Cypress, like him. He was all ACC back when he was before he came to Florida State. You got DJ Lundy coming back, man, at linebacker. Flirted with that portal, but Mike Norvell was able to talk him back into coming back. I think that's huge, man. Then you got Patrick Payton on the defensive line with Daniel Jones. Patrick Payton made his impact felt in that UGA game, and I think he's a star in the waiting, star in the, like I say, to be, I guess, breakout star. That's what I'm looking for. But transfers Marvin Jones Jr. flashed at UGA. Now he's at Florida State. You got Cam Riley, linebacker from Auburn, Sean Murphy from Bama, Earl Little from Bama, and Amari Cooper from Colorado, who got some significant playing time here and there at Colorado and showed his talent. So the defense is kind of like a patchwork, but it's a lot of talent out there. Can they gel together? That's the thing. That's the question, I think, for this offense and defense this year with Florida State. Okay, so when it comes to the games that I think you should watch, let's take a look at the schedule. This is the 2024 Florida State schedule. I think there's 5 games, in my opinion, that, and hey, this is just what I think. And you're talking about, again, making it to the ACC championship and possible playoff berth. Their first game in Ireland with Georgia Tech. I mean, first off, it's a different time zone and things of that nature, but Georgia Tech returns a lot on offense. So it'll be a test right out of the gates to see how well this defense has gelled in the offseason. While I don't think they'll be able to stop you guys on offense, I think it could turn into a shootout because, again, they return a lot of offensive talent. The coaching staff on offense is pretty good. So I think that's a game to watch to see if you can overcome all of the new pieces and losses that you had. And, of course, looking at that Clemson game coming to Florida State, Clemson and Florida State have been the 2 teams that have owned the ACC. I mean, outside of a year or 2 here and there for, it seems like 20 years, if nothing else. So that's going to be big. Also, of course, DJU's former team in Clemson, what I'm saying, coming back down. So also I'm looking at, of course, both of the Florida games, the state of Florida games, one at Miami and then Florida at the end of the season. Those are 2, bitter rivals. Miami has talent. Florida has talent. Some would question the coaching as up until this point. We'll see what happens. I just know that they always, give Florida State a pretty good game, but Norvell is 2-2 versus Florida in his time at Florida State. 2 wins back-to-back in 2022 and 23. So can he make it 3? And then at Notre Dame, I think that's going to be a big one. Florida State, Notre Dame is always pretty good. Notre Dame's got a lot of talent. I think outside of like maybe one more game, this is like this will be Notre Dame's biggest game. So they don't have a lot to, throw them off course. So, I mean, this is what we're looking at. I think those 5 games. Let me know in the comments if you're worried about, any other game or some of these games you're not worried about per se. I mean, I know some people say at SMU. I think Florida State has enough talent to go in there, even though SMU is a well-coached team and has some good talent on offense. So, let me know in the comments what you think and what you think the record may be coming off for 2024. So there it is, man. Those are the things I'm thinking about again. 20 going into 2023, having all that production returning, and then coming into 2024, not having half of that production returning. How does that make you feel? Are you worried about this year, or are you like it's gonna be, we're not gonna miss a beat? Let me know in the comments, man. You know, it's been Coach I. We're doing the Florida State preview. So let me know what you think in the comments. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. We out of here.
Got it jumping like it's that valley. I call my dogs out the pound, let's go eat. Turn on the fan at it, let's have a debate. Who really hold down the Southeast from state to state? What team hungry gonna eat everything up off their plate?